Welcome back to Framing the Force. Before the break, we discussed the documentary I'm George Lucas, a Connor Ratliff story with co producer Patrick Cotner. Now, we wanted to dive into one of the more obscure Star Wars stories that never saw the light of day, Star
Mhm.
Wars Detours. So, this is an unaired animated parody series developed by George Lucas, Lucasfilm Animation, and the creators of Robot Chicken. While 39 episodes of the series were finished, they've still yet to see the light of day due to a shift in direction for the company around the Disney acquisition. While there have been trailers released, outcries from fans and creatives, and even some leaked episodes out there, it doesn't sound like the series is coming anytime soon. Patrick, we know that you have a real interest for this series. Do
Mhm.
you think that it'll ever see the light of day? And what is
No.
it that you find most interesting about it? Just,
No,
I
I don't.
appreciate that just straight up the
No
immediate answer
chance.
there.
Man, I should have grabbed during our break. I have a season 1 crew sweatshirt from
Oh,
Detours.
that's
I
awesome.
sh I
That's
should
really
have
cool.
gotten that. It's also too
Just have
hot.
that
I
going
couldn't
through.
wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good yeah, that's fair.
Um,
It's July,
uh,
so
okay, give me those questions again because I got distracted.
so the first one you just knocked it out of the park. Do you think it'll see the light
Great.
of day? You said hard
No.
no. And then so the other one is what do you find most interesting about this as a project? Like as a
Yeah,
Star
I
Wars
mean,
thing?
for sure. Here's the most interesting thing about it, is that George was in the writer's room for all of those episodes. Okay? George
Right.
was there. It was one of the last Star Wars things, if not the last Star Wars thing that he worked on. And it is not anywhere. You cannot see this 20 hours of content, give or take 15
Mhm.
hours of content, longer than probably almost longer than the original trilogy, and maybe throw in a couple more stuff in there of new Star Wars George Lucas content. I find that fascinating. Connor always says that, like, imagine if Francis Ford Coppola said, I have a Godfather TV show and you're never going to see it. You
Yeah,
know,
right?
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
wild. It's also like a lot of talented people worked on that show. You have all the Robot Chicken guys, a lot of Family Guy guys, a lot of great writers, but also like Billy D. Williams is in it, and Anthony Daniels and Ahmed Best. Like all of these like really talented people, and voice actors are doing a lot of great stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of an all star crew for something that purely exists as a hypothetical for so many people. You know,
Yeah. That is
it's
I hadn't
interesting.
really thought about it from the specific angle of that being the last Star Wars thing that George Lucas
Yeah.
worked
Yeah,
on directly, and it's just not people aren't gonna see it.
People
That's
yeah.
don't even a lot of people don't even know about it.
Don't
yeah,
even
I
know
mean,
it exists.
I didn't really know about it. I was like, "What is this thing?" And then
Yeah,
watched the trailer for it, which also the trailer I did think was hilarious, honestly. I was like, "Okay, this is a
yeah,
really"
yeah.
if it's I was like, "This either would be something that's fantastic and completely nails it, or, like, is fine," but I love that it really seems to be knowing exactly what it's going for, and, like, such a unique thing for Star Wars too.
It's something that if it had come out in 2008, it would have made so much sense for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like post Revenge of the Sith, sort of in that weird nebulous time of like Clone Wars is on, but like it's not really a big hit, like,
I
and they're
kinda
doing the
got
yeah,
I kinda got the vibe, like, cause you said post 2000 or, like, post, Revenge of the Sith, and it made me
yeah,
think of Lego Star Wars. It kinda makes me think
yeah,
of an adult Lego Star Wars,
yeah. It's
like,
very Lego Star Warsy,
humor-wise.
very, very Robot Chickeny, very those Family Guy parodies.
Mhm.
It primarily takes place in Dexter's Diner.
Okay.
That's the main setting of the show.
Interesting. It's nice to have
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, yeah. There's also a lot on Endor and a lot on the Death Star. Those are like the three main spots primarily. And it's basically just like a sketch show, kind of.
Mhm.
There's stuff that's out there. You can watch, pretty full stuff that's out there. Um, but yeah, it's basically a sketch show with like not a ton of the main characters. Like a lot of it is like, oh, this one's following Tarkin, or this one's following Poplu, the Ewok, or whatever it is. Uh, uh, and a lot of Stinky's not in it, but there's a lot of like weird hut stuff that's in it. Uh, weird Ben Kenobi stuff. Just like the era doesn't matter. There's no like framing on the era. You're like, okay, Darth Maul's here, but also it's after the Battle of Endor. Like, there's a
Gotta
lot of
go
very
find it.
confusing stuff in it. It's interesting. It's something that I wish I wish was out there just for the weird time capsuliness of it, but
Mhm.
it's something that I could never see Disney releasing now. Not from
Mhm.
uh you know, an anti-Disney thing, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying
Yeah,
it just
it
doesn't
just
fit
doesn't
with
fit.
that. It doesn't fit what the brand is anymore, and
Mhm.
that's totally fine. You know, you were right though. The closest thing is probably the Lego thing, except this is a little more.
Like it's like Lego and Robot Chicken had a
It's like
baby.
it's the Adult Swim version of it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
seems like
yeah, it's a little
almost,
more
yeah.
crass, a little more like wacky. I mean, the
Yeah.
crazy thing is they did 39 episodes that he paid for himself. George paid for these, did not line
Of
up a
course he did.
distributor. So he had no channel. Like no one
It's
said,
either
"Yes, we
Cartoon
will
Network
show
or
you."
Adult Swim or anything?
No. No.
Wow.
Does
No
nothing.
one.
Just made it for the hell of it,
They
like
made it for the hell of it and said, "We will sell these later." And then Disney bought them and said,
Did
"Okay,
not sell
thank you
them
so
later.
thank you so
Wow.
much. We will put these in a vault somewhere on a hard drive, and no one will see them." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't imagine it releasing today. Like
No.
I like like I watched the trailer and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great." I
I
was like,
love the
that
animation style. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's
it looks like it fits the show really well.
yeah. It's very I mean, I keep saying interesting, but it's truly like
It's
the
Yeah,
only
definitely
word
its
I have
own
for the
thing.
show.
It's its
Yeah.
own
It's
unique
its
thing.
own thing that it just it feels so much of the 2010 2011
Star
comedy
Wars,
era
yeah.
and Star Wars era and you know whatever cartoon era.
Mhm.
But yeah, you'll never see unless someone leaks those. Unless someone leaks more, because someone did leak one. I don't know who did it. It was not me. I promise it was not me. I
I
swear
trust
on my mother's grave it was not me. But I would not be shocked if more came out. You know, that's the
Mhm.
only thing that I could think is if
Just
someone put
some
them
good
out like that.
Samaritan on the internet.
Yeah,
We'll just get
yeah,
like one every like 3 years for the
yeah.
next
It's your little
like
Christmas present. You get a little
yeah.
Christmas present.
It'll
Yeah,
be like, "Oh, did we get our Star Wars Detours episode
yeah.
yet this year?"
Yeah.
Just have a little
So,
count.
can you talk about like some of the cast and crew that have worked on Detours that you have had on the George Lucas Talk Show?
Yeah. Let
And like, are
me.
Connor and Griffin big fans of the series, or they don't like it at all? Like, they're like a big no, like you.
Um. Well, look. I'm saying big no. That doesn't mean I'm not a fan of it.
Big no, and like it. Okay,
It will
so
never get
yeah,
released.
it's never coming out.
Yeah.
I think we're all fairly on the same page about this will probably not get released. I'm pulling up the cast and crew because I want to make sure I get all the people that we had on the show.
It's like, I'm not forgetting
Uh,
anyone. Getting all
I
of it.
know.
It is a
We've
very
had
large and stacked cast and crew.
yeah, Zeb Wells, who's in the documentary. He's in one of the shows. He talks about Detours a little bit. He's like, George, you and I work together, all that stuff. He's talking about Detours.
Nice.
Kevin Shinnick wrote on it, who's been on the show. Oh God, IMDb's crashing. This is perfect. Perfect timing. We had this guy, oh my God, Dan Milano, who made the show Greg the Bunny in the early 2000s, which was like a puppet human hybrid show. He wrote on it. He's been on. We had, okay, here we go. Gray Griffin, who's a voice actress. She's great. I think she plays the waitress in Dex's Diner. She's
Okay.
been on.
Cool.
Weird Al. We talked a lot to Weird Al about it. Okay, but let's see. Ahmed Best, yes. Zeb Wells, Dan Milano. Weird Al, we talked a lot about because Weird Al wrote a musical episode. Wrote
Oh,
Star Wars music. There is a fully done Star Wars musical by Weird Al that is out
That is
somewhere,
that
and
no
just
one will
was
ever
no one will ever
get
see.
to
that is not the
experience.
saga begins or his
Yeah,
his
no,
yeah, wow, it's something completely different.
it's all new stuff. Yeah, but like Donald Faison's in this, Joel McHale's in this, Tom Kane, Anthony Daniels, Billy D. Williams, D. Bradley Baker, Nat Faxon, who's an Oscar winner, Oscar-winning screenwriter, plays Han Solo in it. Breckin Meyer, Felicia Day, Seth MacFarlane plays Palpatine.
Oh my
Zachary
god.
Levi from Chuck and Shazam plays Tarkin's nephew, I believe.
That's such a
Um,
wild pull.
yes, yes, yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of people who just like put a
And
lot
the
of time into this, put years into this show. You
and
know,
it's
It's just
crazy
in a
that George
vault.
just paid for this out of
It's just
pocket. Like,
yeah. Well, it was very similar with that show Underworld that he was working on, the live action
mhm.
show. That they wrote, I think, 50 scripts for. There's 51-hour scripts for this show that exists that I don't think we'll ever see.
I can imagine
which-
ordering 50 scripts for
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that you don't know where it's going to be, and he was just paying for it because mostly for that show specifically, and sorry if I'm lecturing you on something you already know about, they were basically trying to figure out the volume at that point. Like that was what they
Okay.
wanted to do. He had that idea of being like, it's going to be virtual sets, it won't be blue screen, but we're going to try to do just like screens around them and go from there. And it was just too cost prohibitive. It was too expensive at that point, especially when you're paying for it out of your own pocket, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so
George, you can't do this, George.
yeah. So you know he has a habit of doing this. You know he paid for Empire and Jedi himself. The sequel or the prequels were paid for with action figure money. You know,
Yeah.
like he likes self financing it because then he can.
It's
Take it.
his. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
his. It's done, and he can just be like, "Hey, Netflix, here's this. Oh, you want to make notes on it? Ah, we can't. It's all done. I'm so sorry. You just have to
Yep.
buy it. You know." So
Yeah.
I think that's why they do it that way. It just like it's the easiest way to avoid creative executive notes.